So today's presentation will be about the stone circles and the DNA sequence that I discovered, especially in the ones that I've looked at recently, the 9 ladies and the 9 merry maidens, which I've already talked about in the book, The Seer on Sacred Site. But I wanted to do a video presentation to show you how it actually operates, and a part of my archaeological study and degree that I'm doing. This video will be contributed to that as well. So in front of you is a model of the 9 merry maidens in Cornwall, and I've just done a sculpture out of clay and trying to do it to replica micro size of them and the shapes and the feel and the color. I did use a little bit of artistic interpretation of them, but I've always got to be a little bit different. And so how I see it, or saw it on a vision, was beautiful maidens wearing red flowing gowns and red long cloaks that dance around the standing stones or the stone pillars, and they go in clockwise position around it, and they start at a certain angle and weave themselves around the stones, and they're all holding hands and dancing. It's kind of like at the beginning of the Outlander series. The introduction to Outlander shows the witches dancing around the stones. I wouldn't necessarily call them witches. I think they're more maidens, probably pagans, probably earth-loving goddesses. But as I've already discovered, the Anunnaki goddesses used to wear red as well. And I've also made a discovery lately about Newgrange, which I already did an assignment on, and got it passed eventually and got distinctions for it eventually after going to the head of the department, because my lecturer thought it was a bit too far-fetched. But in the end, persistent paid off, and I did end up getting a distinction for it, and they found it a very unusual concept, but also very intriguing concept, and a theory they couldn't disprove. But now I've actually found the proof of that theory for Newgrange being an Anunnaki monument, and it's about the womb and the light that penetrates the womb. And I've recently found proof of that with all the research that I've been doing on the Sumerian culture and the Sumerian tablets, and reading up a lot about the Anunnaki, diving in really deep on the research. And as you would know, I bought a huge collection of it, and I've only just started book 1, and I've already found the proof for Newgrange in it. So that will be another video. But right now, let's go back to these beautiful 9 maidens dancing. And as they dance, they touch the stones and they weave in and out of them. And they start in one direction and heading around right, and then going left, and then going right, and then going left, and doing this beautiful weave. And I've been told it was called the spider weave, or the snake bearing dance, that they would sing a song about the serpents and the snakes while they were doing it. And then once they finish that circuit around the stone, then they go to the next one, which is actually this one here. They start at this one and weave themselves around, and then on the next round they start at this one, and instead of starting right, they start left and then go around like that. But I'll show you with clay and how it makes the DNA strand. So this is how it starts, is just a stone circle. Now I'll add the clay, and I'll show you the weave pattern. just weaving the clay around the stones, just like the dancers, the maidens would have done, and ending back at the entrance. So that's the first circuit that they went on, which I will show you now. They would start here and go around, behind the stone, in front of the stone, 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 leading back to what they call the entrance into the stone circle. And now I will get the next one and show you the pattern. Starting from the other side at the entrance, this side going to the left, going over to the right, going in between the stones, overlapping the last cycle or the last sequence, again weaving from the outside going into the inside, from the outside going into the inside. I'm just pressing it all down so I can show you the effect. So this time we started with this stone here, the entrance, and we weaved at the front of it, weaved at the back, weaved at the front, weaved at the back, weaved at the front, weaved at the back, front, back, front, and two back into the entrance. So if you look at an aerial view of it, it looks like the DNA strand. And each of these little injunctions, which is called the double helix, which I will press down because I'm going to put crystals in there to amplify the energy. All these double helixes. So while they were dancing, they were also doing the DNA sequence. And again, it does look like a snake as well. And they were trying to activate the God particles, the God DNA, or to honor it. And this circle would then vibrate that energy of the God particle and of the dancing. And when I'm doing it, I feel like really holy presence and very energetically significant. I'm just going to seal off these energies I'm being told to seal. And that was one of the purposes of the stone circles in ancient times, and then carried on through the pagan, Druid, Roman times even as well. While studying archaeology, I was finding it quite difficult to get all the ages and civilizations and who lived in what and where and what time, so I've had to take up another course, and I'm now also studying ancient history so I can make sense of it a bit better and get it in my mind. I did study it in high school, but to be honest, I really didn't pay that much attention to it. So now I'm redoing it. So I'm doing a double degree at the moment. But I'm finding all these amazing things. So this is the DNA sequence that comes from stone circles, from the beautiful maidens. that will dance around the stones. Thank you for your time. So the second part of the stone circles, as I sat down to finish and to go to bed, they said, nope, you're not finished yet. You had to put the crystals into the activation points that I did in the last video. And the crystals they told me to use were actually the ascension crystals and crystals that help with rejuvenation. So here they are here. Eight, which is of course the affinity symbol. Okay, they want some at the entrance to enhance the energy flow. And then we'll wait for this to dry and then I can paint it. And I've just activated the DNA line. Of the 9 maidens stone circles. Thank you for your time.